All right, so now we are moving into phase 4, the transition academic plan, degree plans, course types, and GPA. So let's get started with the degree types. In phase 3, I spoke about lifestyle, interests, skills, career exploration, looking at the education that is required for different careers. You may notice that a bachelor's degree or associate's degree or even a master's degree is required to work in a particular career field. So let's discuss the different degree types. Let's get started with an associate degree. An associate degree usually takes about 60 credit hours to complete. Now, that can equal up to about 2 years if you're going to school consistently. You can usually complete an associate degree at a junior college or a community college. A bachelor's degree, usually you can complete within 120 credit hours. It may take more depending on your degree plan, which we'll discuss in a second. A bachelor's degree can usually be completed at a university and may take about 4 years. You also have what's called a graduate or a master's degree, which may take about 2 years or 36 hours to 56 credit hours. And then you have a doctoral, also known as a PhD degree, which can typically take about 90 to 120 credit hours. Once you decide on your major and then you decide on what degree you are seeking, you'll have what's called a degree plan. The degree plan is the required coursework necessary to graduate. Your degree plan details what classes you should take and when. So let's look at the different course types. What classes will you have to take as a part of the degree that you are seeking? So let's look at the basic core classes. A basic core class is usually required regardless of your major. An example of a basic core class would be English, math, history, or government. Now, you'll typically take those types of classes throughout your first 2 years of your degree plan. Let's look at the major core classes. These classes are directly related to your major. So for example, a student majoring in business management may be required to take a class such as Principles of Finance, which is specific to a business degree plan. And then lastly, you have what's called an elective. Some degree plans will give you an idea of what electives to take or suggest what electives you should take. But an elective is not specifically related to your major. You usually have more free will whenever you are deciding on what electives you want to take. So if you are an agriculture major and there's a business class that you want to take, but it's not a part of your degree plan, utilizing one of your elective courses to take that business class would be in your best interest. And it would give you the opportunity to learn more while still seeking your agriculture degree. So let's look at this example, which will give us an idea of different types of courses. This person would be a business management major who is a freshman, so they're in their first semester. They are taking English, algebra, and history, which are all basic core classes. And then you'll notice that they're taking theater arts, which is an elective. And then this person as a business major is also taking intro to business, which is a major core class. So this person is taking 5 different classes, 3 basic core classes, 1 elective, and 1 major core class. Lastly, let's look at the GPA, how to calculate your GPA. Now, the GPA is important for several reasons, mainly whenever we're talking about eligibility. If you want to stay in school, you have to maintain a certain GPA. If you want to receive financial aid, you have to maintain a certain GPA. Also, if you want to qualify for scholarships, you want a certain GPA. So what is the GPA? What is the grade point average? This is a number that represents the average value of accumulated final grades earned in a course each semester and over time. So let's look at the percentages and the points you get for a particular grade. If you get an A, that is a 4. If you get a B, that is a 3. If you get a C, that is a 2. If you get a D, that is a 1. And then, of course, an F, you get 0 points. There are also opportunities to withdraw from a course if you're not doing well. And then there's also an opportunity to get an incomplete if there's an unusual circumstance. So what I want to do now is I want to show you how to calculate your GPA. This is the basic way to calculate a GPA if you're on a basic 4-point scale. You can see here in this example, this student is taking 5 classes during this semester. For each class, they're going to earn points. So for the algebra class, this person got a C, they earned 2 points. History, B, 3 points. English, A, 4 points. Intro to business, a B, 3 points. And then biology, a D, 1 point. So when you take the total number of points this person earned, which is 13, and then you divide it by 5, which is the total number of classes this person took, you get a 2.6 GPA. Of course, you want to aim for a higher GPA, but that is how you calculate a GPA. Phase 4 exercise. Now, from the Transition Guide and Journal 3rd edition, from the book, I want you to complete exercise 4. In exercise 4, you're going to plan your next 2 semesters. If you're a current college student, utilize this diagram to plan your next 2 semesters. Or if you're heading to college, use this diagram to plan your first 2 semesters. Okay, this diagram, this exercise can be found on page 70. Let's move on to phase 5.